Okay, so good morning students. So we are going to start a new chapter today. Okay? So what's the name of the chapter I've written here? Power sharing. Right? So you know this is a chapter from democratic politics, civics. Right? Yeah. So in this chapter, what are the things we are going to learn? Objectives here. You will know what actually is power sharing. You know what is power? So power doesn't mean only the muscle power, which means the power to take decision. Power to take decision. So who are making decision in the government? Okay, even in classroom, even in this administration also, we make decision. We have some power to make decision. Now, that power has to be shared. If the power is not shared, and if it is in one hand, it is vested in one hand, can we say that is a democratic policy, democratic government? No, we cannot say. So what type of government it becomes? Loudly? Dictatorship. Okay? Where the power is not shared with anyone, the power is vested only in one hand. Yeah? That is dictatorship. Can anyone just give me an example? Adolf Hitler of Germany. He was a dictator. Yeah, that recent. Okay, so Adolf Hitler and even Napoleon, they were the dictators of medieval period. Now modern, contemporary period, we have Kim Jong-un, who is the dictator of North Korea. They do claim themselves as democratic nation by conducting election once in every 5 years. But there is no change. There is no change. Yeah. Then we know that last year in 9th standard we have studied about the chapter what is democracy and why democracy. Right? Then we saw though China has election once in 5 years, do contest election, but always one single party forms government. Yes. So can we say they are democratic? No. So elections, political parties do not make you democratic nation unless and otherwise you come to share power. So this power sharing is decentralization of power. Power is going out of one center to other directions. Okay? So that you are going to know in detail in the next chapter how we are following that power sharing policy in India. Whether we share power with other parts or not. Whether we share power with state governments or local self-governments or the political parties, social groups, that we need to know. Okay? So once power is not shared, we cannot declare that nation as democratic nation. We cannot claim at all. That we are going to know. Next one is, we are going to know about the significance of power sharing. Why do we need to have power sharing? Why power sharing is desirable. That's also important, right? Why power sharing is desirable. So power sharing reduces conflict. Okay. Suppose I called you for a skit. Now I told you, you both monitor the students. And you have a chance to become dictator. You have a chance to misuse the power. Okay? You may try to show all of your anger, personal anger on others and write their names. Complaint. Okay, write their names in complaint register. Isn't clear? So there is a chance of misusing of power if the power is not shared. Once you share the power with others, you share the responsibility. Okay? So everyone gets authority to question, to take decision. Got it? Yeah. So I don't want to drag it. Now come here. So in this chapter we are going to learn about two countries as case study. One hand we have Sri Lanka, another hand we have Belgium. One is in Asia, another one is in Europe. Yes? Yeah. So Sri Lanka, what is the majoritarianism issue is there. They have majority and minority. In India also we have majority and minority groups are here. Okay, what are the minority groups in India? Muslims, Buddhists, Jains, Christians, Sikhs, okay, they are called minorities because their number is less compared to the other section. Right? Yeah. So in Sri Lanka, they have, in Sri Lanka and Belgium, their diversity or their majoritarianism is different. In India, though we say we are religious minorities, but not linguistic at all. Okay, we have linguistic diversity, minorities, but all of us we declare and we do claim to be Indians. Okay, nobody denies your duty, nobody denies your right, nobody denies your citizenship, isn't it? That speciality we have in India. Whereas I am going to tell you another country where the very right is denied because of their ethnicity. What do you mean by ethnicity? Means a cultural group. Okay, so what are the ethnic groups are here? In Sri Lanka we are going to learn. See, in Sri Lanka, they have Sinhala speakers, those who speak in Sinhala. Now one song is very famous, it's been coming up always. Okay? Some Manike Magahite, some song was coming. That's a Sinhala song, right? Okay. So, the Sinhala speakers are 74% in Sri Lanka. And Tamil speakers are 18%. And other speakers are there. And Buddhists are, Muslims are there. Okay. Now, in 1948, Sri Lanka became independent. And in 1956, they brought an act of 1956 which recognized only Sinhala as the only official language. That means denied Tamil language. Tamil was not recognized as official language. In India, do we have any national language? No. In federalism, you are going to learn that in India, no language is given the status of national language. All are called scheduled languages. Okay? They are all official language. Kannada is official language. Tamil is official language. Telugu is official language. Okay? Scheduled language or scheduled language. Clear? So you cannot say that particular language is recognized. No. It's not given priority. Yeah. This Act of 1956 made Sinhala alone the official language of Sri Lanka. Not only that, it reserved the positions in universities as well as in the jobs for the Sinhala speakers, which denied the rights of Tamils. So Tamil people, definitely they were not happy with this. So they started movements, they started demonstrations, they started what? Yes? Struggles. They started struggles against this policy. Okay? They started. Okay. Now they started agitation for getting Tamil as to get it declared as official language, to reserve seats for them in the universities, and to recognize them in the political system too. So the Tamils also started political parties, but Tamils were not recognized. Though the situation is coming under control now, they are quite recognized. Clear? Okay, but the situation was there. So see, our country in Asia has an issue of majoritarianism, majoritarianism, but doesn't solve the issue. Has a problem, but doesn't solve it. Similar problem, or a problem is quite complex, more complex than that, is in Europe, that is Belgium. Okay? Belgium. What is the capital of Belgium? Brussels. They have ethnic diversity similar to Sri Lanka, but their ethnic diversity is quite different because they have two regions. One is Flemish region and the one is Wallonia region. So in Flemish region means the entire country, Dutch are 59%. Dutch speaking people are 59%. Whereas French speaking people are 40%. And one other percent is German speaking. Right? Good. So who are majority in this entire country? Dutch. Minority is Flemish and German. So leave German. This is very much very significant minority. So just remember about this. So French are minority in the entire country. Whereas if you come to Wallonia region or the capital, there French are and Dutch are 20%. So though the French speakers are minority in the entire country, but they are majority in the capital. Okay? And they do dominate. You have learnt last year in your 9th standard that the elite groups in Europe or European society, they speak French. So long ago in India, the elite groups, they used to speak in Sanskrit. They were minority, but they were dominating. They had significant position in the politics, significant position in the economy. Okay, we know that. We have studied in ancient India. So similarly, we saw it in Belgium that the French, though they were minority in the entire country, but they were majority in the capital. Now see the situation. Now the problem is between them, not this picture. Majority are French, minority are Dutch. So similar to Sri Lanka. There, Sinhala, there 74%. Here, French are 80%. Tamils are 18%. Here, Dutch are 20%. Isn't it? Problem is same, isn't it? But the way they solve it is different. In Sri Lanka, they denied Tamils and their rights. Whereas in Belgium, they came up with an innovative policy of accommodation, a policy of power sharing. What it did, the majority French invited the minority Dutch leaders to come and have equal share in the central ministry. They decided to have equal number of ministers in the government, in the central government. Again, they decided to have state governments or provincial governments wherever they are. If it is a Dutch area, let them have provincial government with Dutch-speaking ministers. French area, let them have French-speaking government, French-speaking ministers in the provincial government. And the provincial governments were not subordinate like UK. In UK they do have some governments, but they are subordinates, substitutes. They don't have any independence or they are not having any autonomy to make any decision. Whereas Belgium provided that. It provided autonomy, means right to take their own decision in the provincial administration. Furthermore, they established community government which dealt completely on education, linguistic issues and cultural issues. That means to foster, to sponsor every linguistic group in the nation. Got my point? Got it? Loudly. Got it? Yes. So, that was a great thing in Belgium. Problem was similar, but the way Belgium came up, it was so innovative, and that attracted the attention of the world, and that's why when the European Union, which is an international organization similar to UNO, was set up, when European Union was set up, they made their headquarters in Belgium just to honor the innovative measure that they took to bring the country under unity by solving the issue of majoritarianism and their power sharing. Got my point? Thank you. Red button.